Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is about, I was asked to leave my granny's house. I wonder what happened. I would love to know. Let's watch the video.
A story time, and you tell me who's right or wrong. I'm going to make this as brief as possible. Challenge me to it. My dad had a major heart attack, and then he had open heart surgery. Things have not been going that great since then. And I got a call from a family member last week who thought I should come here. My grandmother, my mom's mom, so unrelated to the situation with my dad, also lives in the same town where my dad is in the hospital. So instead of staying in a hotel or sleeping in his hospital room, I get to stay at my grandmother's comfy, cozy house that I love and adore. And my grandma's a huge, important part of my life, and she means the world to me, so I'm so happy to be able to spend a few days here, and this being like a little safe haven spot of like nightly recuperation for me. And I was just appreciating how amazing that was when my grandmother got a phone call from her daughter-in-law by marriage, my uncle's wife. My uncle's wife doesn't care for me. Hates is a word I think we could use and not be wrong. She hates me. Why does she hate me? 12 years ago, I didn't invite kids to my wedding. The wedding was in New Orleans at a big house, not a hotel, not a wedding venue. It was at a big house, and we were completely in charge of everything ourselves. There was a pool. We didn't have lifeguards. We didn't have security. And so the thing we decided was that for our very small 50, 60 person wedding, we would not have kids there. It would say no one under 18 on the invitation, because lots of our friends had kids. Some of our relatives had kids. And if we said kids, this was going to be a kids party. I love kids. This caused a major, major schism, a major malfunction, a crack down the middle in my family. My mom fighting with her brother fighting with his brother. This aunt of mine was very angry that we had said no children. She didn't come talk to me about it, though. So just the generation above me just weaseled around through the grapevine and made their own decisions and finalities and got themselves hurt by themselves. Because had she asked me directly, I would have absolutely told her that for her kids who were a little bit older and who were also like family, I could make an exception. That's what I would have told her. Why didn't I reach out to her when I heard all this stuff was going on and say, hey, what's going on? I don't know. It just didn't feel appropriate. She is my uncle's wife. Like, I assumed that my uncle would take care of it. Well, I don't know. Anyway, this sounds so crazy. Anyway, the other thing that ended up happening is because she was so angry about the wedding, she told my grandfather, my very prudish Catholic grandfather, that there would be drugs at this wedding. She called it a drug wedding. And I think it's just because she was angry that she felt she was being slighted around the wedding, and so she wanted to encourage him not to go, which would have been always very close to my grandfather. So they didn't go to the wedding. We continued on and had the wedding as we did. My grandfather did go to the wedding. He said it was the best wedding he's ever been to, but two sides of our family have had tension ever since. I spent many sessions in therapy talking about this. I have, made my peace with it. Now I'm here at my grandmother's house while my dad is sick in the hospital across town. And my aunt has announced that she is coming a day early for Thanksgiving, or there was a miscommunication or whatever, but it's a day earlier than my grandma and I thought. She's coming and she doesn't want to see me. And so she told my 92-year-old grandmother that she needs to figure out who has precedence. Between me and her, who has precedence. So I'm going to go to a hotel because I don't want to upset my grandmother or make her Thanksgiving more challenging than it needs to be. She's in it to see her grandkids. She, is not in it to spend time with this aunt of mine either. My aunt married my uncle, and my grandma just wants to be with my uncle, her son, and her grandkids, his kids, and she tolerates what she has to tolerate, like we all do when families have difficult situations. I'm going to go to a hotel because I love my grandma and I want to make things as easy as possible for her. But guys, tell me if I'm crazy to feel I feel crazy. Like, it feels crazy to me. Like, I'm like, is this reality? Like, how and why? Weird. And at least I'm okay and I don't need for things to be a certain way. But oh my God, I was having like the nicest, sweetest time, like just catching up with my grandma here and there, sleeping in a comfy bed, like being in a familiar place that I could just like come back to as home base between these trips to the hospital. Some people, man, and why does it always come out at the holidays? Tell me crazy stories about your family in the holidays in the comments, or stitch this video. I would love to hear. I would love to hear about it.
You know what? You made the right decision by going to a hotel because you don't want any drama. You don't want to put grandma in a stressful state. But on top of that, when it comes to your wedding, you have a right to make the decision of not having kids there. I know there's people that would love to take their kids to a wedding, but then it's like if something happens, being that y'all have to be like the ones taking care of everything, technically like the kids could be liable. Like y'all gonna be liable if something happens to the children. And the parents barely pay attention because they're over there by the bar having some cocktails and not paying attention to their kids. So they're just not, and sometimes things happen. What do y'all think about this video? You know what to do, comment below. This is Life with Shawn Renee. More videos on the way.